You guys have asked for it, so we're going to do it. This is our first episode of our quarter hunt and fill series. Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure and welcome back to my channel. I'm pretty excited about this video today because we're going to kick off our quarter hunt and fill series. Now, I'll say in advance, I don't expect to find and fill all of the silver quarters from 1932 to 1964. Of course, as we find them, we will slot them, but keep in mind, for the first 31 boxes I've hunted on the year, I have only found 13 silver quarters, and even though that is a great number compared to the previous year's finds, it would not even put a dent in the silver quarter years. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be in advance. It's probably going to be quite a long one because the first episode of any hunt and fill series takes the longest because I have to pull out as many quarters as possible to find the nicest ones, especially in these state quarters. I have to find the nicest Philadelphia and Denver, and because there's 5 designs for every one of those years, we have 100 quarters just to find to fill the state quarter books up. So that's going to take some time. We'll be focusing on them. And then, of course, the nicest ones I'll focus on in the 90s, 80s, 70s, and 60s, and so on and so forth. So let me go ahead and get this started. These are the books. We'll take a look at the books as I fill them, but we're going to open the boxes next. Let me go ahead and stack all of these to the side and get them out of the way if I can, and we'll get this hunt started. Now, both these boxes have the holes in the bottom, so I know they're circulated. I did see quite a few newer designs, or at least newer quarters in the second box, so we'll have to see how that one does. Let me go ahead and crack open this first box and see what we got in here on the top side. All right. Definitely got a good circulated quarter box. No silver enders, no foreign enders, nothing fancy schmancy, but that's quarter hunting. You never know what you're going to get till you get in the rolls. Now, I'll say in advance, I will be setting aside in piles all the state quarters here, and then we'll do the 90s, 80s, 70s, and 60s, and then, of course, the silver to the side. Let me go ahead and kick this hunt off, see if we can get some silver, some W's, and how far we can get on the books. I'll be back if and when I have a first find. All right, we are 10 rolls in. No finds yet, no W's, proofs, foreigns, or silvers. But I wanted to give you a quick update. This is the 04 through 08, the 99 through 03, the 90s, 80s, 70s, and 60s. All I've done is pull all of those out. Didn't matter their condition. Just want to make sure I have Philadelphia and Denver's as much as possible for every year in mint. That's all of the 2009 through 2022 quarters in there. Next, before I move on to the next 10 rolls, is I'm going to go through these really quick, cull these piles down because they're getting pretty tall, and any duplicates, I'm going to pick the best of each. I won't bring you back on what I've selected individually, but I'll show how much I've culled down these piles before moving on to the next 10 rolls. I figured I'd bring you back in for a quick update on how I sort them. This is the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and I took the best one of every year in mint that I had, and that's those. That's the 99, 2000, 01, 02, 03. I've already grabbed the stack of 04 through 08s, and I've already segregated them by each year, 04, 5, 6, 7, and 8. What I do next is I just lay them out, and based on the design on the back, I separate them by the design type. So we're going to go ahead and do that really quick, and I only have 3 different types here right now. Then I flip them over, and I see if I have a P and a D, and in this case, we have a Philadelphia, and we have a Denver, so those 2 will make the grade. Next, we'll grab these ones, flip them over, and I see I have a Denver and a Denver, so I take a quick peek at the better one, which I like this one more. That makes the grade. This one goes in the bin, and I repeat the process for every year of these quarters with the mints being looked at as well. And we have a Denver, Denver, Denver. So these 3, this one makes the grade. And now my 04s are done for the first 10 rolls. I'm going to finish those up. I won't be back with another look. We'll get back to the hunt and we'll see how we're doing after the next 10 rolls, unless I have a find between now and then. All right, we have finished the next 10 rolls, 20 rolls down. The outside was the already culled through years, and then the inside ones are from the next set of 10 rolls. So now I got to go back through them again and choose the best of the best, see if the stacks get more progressed as far as year and mints, and be back after I do that for a look at where we stand after 20 rolls. We have finished the second sort. This is what it looks like. These are the best year in mints, Philadelphia and Denver, for each of the years. And then, of course, these are decades for now. I'll tell you, it took a little bit longer this time to go through them because I had to be nitpicky, but looks like we're making good progress. The 04 state quarters are definitely lagging behind, as well as the 70s. But we've only done 20 rolls. Let's get back to the hunt. And while we're doing this, can we get a find as well? 30 rolls down, still no finds, but a lot more coins to sort through. I think after these 10 roll sorts right here, so we have 30 done, I should have a good idea of what years and mints I have for complete sets, and then I'll take a look and see which of those I probably need to still upgrade. It'll keep me from having to do these longer sorts, and we're starting to get some nicer quarters. Obviously, none of these are going to be in high BU mints or anything like that, but we're just trying to fill the book up with the nicest quarters possible. Let me run through the sort and give you a wrap up after the 30 rolls. We have finished the sort after 30 rolls. Now, this is my hit list. These are quarters that I don't have either the Philly or the Denver or both for the state sets. And obviously, I'll be pulling out any nicer state quarters from now on to compare to what we got. That being said, by doing this, it'll save me a lot of time in the sort after the next 10 rolls. So I have to keep looking at the same coins over and over again. New Jersey, Ohio, Arkansas, Michigan, Colorado, Montana, Idaho, and Alaska are the 8 state quarters that we're still missing. And again, we do have some uglier ones, but that's the ones we're missing entirely. We are missing a handful in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, but I'll continue to look for the nicest ones, and the Philadelphia ones I got to pay special attention to for all the quarters because I don't see a lot of those, and the ones I do have in some of these years are pretty bad. Now that we've done that, time for the next 10 rolls, and the search is still on for a find from box 1. Just a quick little insert here. I've done 40 rolls, but because I've narrowed down what I'm looking for, we don't have as much to sort. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with the last 10 rolls of the box. Still no finds yet, but let me go ahead and hunt those rolls. If I find something, I'll be back. Otherwise, I'll be back after I've got them sitting on the board before the sort. Well, I'm back because roll number 42 is going to have a find. We've now hunted our 32nd box on the year. And looks like we're going to have our 14th silver quarter on the year. Silver quarter, minted in Denver, 1963. And guess what? That will go in the book. We'll take that first silver find on the board, 42nd roll in. Well, now the box decides to start getting hot. Very next roll, roll number 43, and we've got a W quarter right here. As you can see, definitely circulated condition, but it's going to be a 2020 because it has the V75 privy. What design is it? And it's a Marsh Billings Rockefeller. I don't even have any extra ones of these, and too bad this is in terrible shape. But it's one I never see, and I'm happy to have found it. A silver and a W. Late box rally. Now can we find some Michigan quarters because I haven't seen any of those yet. We have finished that first box. Let me go ahead and do the sort. Get the best of the best finds, and come back with a wrap-up of the first box, and then a live opening of box number 2. All right, I have finished the sort. I've double-checked everything, made sure we had the right mints, because sometimes the Philadelphias from the 80s and 90s are a little bit beat up, and they're hard to tell if they're a P or D, but I made sure everything is as it should be. These are what we are missing only from 1965 through 2008. We don't have a 68P. We don't have a 70P. We don't have an Arkansas State quarter minted from Philly. We didn't get one Michigan State quarter in the whole box. No Phillies or Denvers. Odd. And we need an Alaska State quarter minted in Philly. Now, I will plug these in at the end of the second box, but I do want to go through the second box and make sure that we don't have any nicer quarters that I can upgrade in here. So I'll plug them in at the very end. In the meantime, that's a great start. We're only missing 6 quarters for those years. Now, once we get from 1964 and back, we only got that one silver quarter as it stands right now, and we got a W. And I know some of you are going to say, Rob, it would be nice to have the 09s through the 22s, and I agree. We'll use that on the second series once we get this series complete. Now, when I say complete, I mean from 65 through 08, and then we'll see how far we can get on the quarters in the silver years as we hunt the 09s and ahead. But for today's video, it's only a 2-box hunt for those years. Let me go ahead and slide that box over. We'll do a live opening on it next and see if we can get some more silver as well, or some more W's. All right, let's crack open box number 2. And as a quick reminder, I'm only going to be pulling out nice clad quarters that might upgrade. And of course, those 6 quarters that we need for the albums, if we can find them. Man, that's a tough box. Let me go ahead and cut this really quick. All right, here we go. Another box of quarters. We definitely have some 2022s in here. I see some Wilma Man Killers for sure. So I'm excited to get in here, see if we have any varieties, silver W's, or those last 6 quarters we need. I'll be back as soon as I have a find in box number 2. We're on roll 13 of the box, continuing on with the sort, pulling out the nicer quarters, but just spied ourselves a San Francisco minted clad proof quarter from Arizona, 2008. We'll take it. 3rd find of the hunt so far. And for those wondering, I did find a 70p, but it's in rough shape. All right, back to the hunt. Oh, before I forget, I have a lot of these rolls of these Wilma Man Killer quarters, and I opened up 2 of them, and they're nothing but solid rolls. So I'm going to assume if they have both ends as 2022 Denver or Man Killer enders, that they're full rolls, and I'll open those at the end of the video last to see if that is the case. Now let me get back to the hunt. Well, we finished that box, and I know you're thinking, Rob, the box isn't done. I had 12 full rolls of Wilma Man Killer Denver minted 2022 quarters. I opened up 2 to test in the beginning, opened up 2 other ones randomly, and yeah, they're full rolls. So I'm not going to open those up. I'm going to hold on to those for a little bit. See if there's any varieties that pop up in the next little bit. No sense popping them open now and scope all of them. It'll take too long. That being said, we finished the hunt, and I have to do one more sorting because all of these coins here are the ones we pulled out of this box, and I want to double check them to see what we have as far as upgrades to the ones I already have slated to put in the books. Let me go ahead and do that now, and after the sort, I'll bring you back and we'll find out what we still have, and it's time to do a recap of the hunt as well as fill the books. 1 hour later. All right, that took a long time. Let me tell you, I don't envy the kids that are putting quarters in these Dansco quarter albums for the first time because the slots are tight, which is good because they'll stay in there. And I even tested some of them by taking them back out and putting them back in, and it's much easier the 2nd and 3rd time. That being said, everything has been completed. We finished the sort. We've got the quarters in the book, and I figure it's time for a wrap-up. For the hunt on the finds, I've got a stand-in for the 63 Denver silver quarter. This is just an ugly quarter for the silver jar because the 63 Denver went in the book. We also got that Marsh Billings Rockefeller W quarter. It's in circulated shape, but I need those, so I'll take it. And we found that proof quarter, although it is clad, it's not a bad looking quarter overall, Arizona State, 2008. That's the finds of the hunt. As far as for the books, I have tallies and we'll go through those, but I figured we'd go through them first. Unfortunately, this first book is all silver, 1932 to 62. So even though we did find a silver quarter, we didn't have anything for the first book, obviously, since it only goes to 1962, and the silver quarter we found was 1963 Denver. So we're 0 out of the 79 slots for the first book, and yeah, that's going to take a long time to fill that up from quarter hunting, but we'll see how far we get for a little bit for sure. For the second book, this is 1963 to 1998. Basically, it's just the 63 and 64 silver years, and then the rest of the Eagleback quarters. Now, I went ahead and got this book set up. Let me go ahead and do this with my other hand. Obviously, in the very beginning, we're only going to have that ugly 63D. I could put a reverse in the books, but I'm going to wait to do that. And we didn't get anything else as far as the silver. But when it comes to the clad, we got them all. We got every single one of them. 1965 through 1998 Denver. Now, I'll just do a quick panorama of them so you can see them, but we've got a lot of episodes that we'll be doing to get these upgraded as we go along, so I just want to make sure I give you a quick look at them. Obviously, we could use a better 70 Philadelphia. It's nice that we found it, but it's not in great shape. The 68 Denver is not in great shape, and neither is the 68 Philly. moving right along. Most of the quarters in here, although in circulated condition, they're not that bad. There's a few upgrades needed, but nothing that stands out in my mind that I need to go looking for right away. Of course, as we hunt boxes, we'll see if we have any upgrades. So that takes care of the mixed eagleback quarters, and we had 64 of the 67 quarters in book number 2. For the state quarters, the first 5 years, 1999 through 2003. Let me go ahead and show you what we got here. We actually made really good progress. We have all of the state quarters from 99 to 2003, except for the Arkansas 2003 Philadelphia. Could not find it in those 100 rolls. Now, we do need some upgrades. That 03 Alabama is pretty ugly. We also have a pretty toasty 2001 Philly Rhode Island. Could use a better Philly 2001 New York. Could use a better 99 Delaware Philly. A lot of the Philly ones were tough to get nice quarters because I don't get a lot of Philly minted quarters in my area. So those will need upgrading, but we do have 49 of the 50 quarters for those 5 years. Can't get mad at that. And then for the final state quarter book, the 2004 through 2008, obviously there's 50 more slots in this book as well. So taking a look at it, we have all of them, 49 out of 50, except for we didn't find the Philadelphia, Alaska quarter. So we are missing a couple of the state quarters, both Philadelphia minted. And as a rule of thumb, like I said in the last book, the Philadelphia ones definitely are the ones that we could use upgrades in, although it's just nice seeing that I had 98 out of the 100 state quarters in just 2 boxes. So it'd be good to see how many more boxes it takes to get the ones we need, the 2 that we need, as well as how much silver we'll get along the way over the next several hunts. I got to get used to these books. In wrap up, we have hunted 2 boxes. We have 0 out of the 79 silver quarters from 32 to 62. We have 64 of the 67 eagleback quarters, only missing 3 of the 4 silvers from 63 and 64. We have 49 out of 50 state quarters from 99 to 03, just missing that Arkansas Philly. And then we have 49 out of 50 state quarters from 04 to 08, just missing that Alaska Philly. 162 of the 246 Washington quarters have been found from 1932 to 2008. Obviously, it'd be nice to get the 09s through current years. We'll get those down the road. And for those keeping track, the silver now count on the year is 14 through 33 boxes. I know that was kind of a long, tedious hunt, and I know it's kind of surprising that we did so well on the state quarters. I'll be honest, I didn't think we would find 98 out of 100, but then again, I've never hunted boxes just to fill up state quarter books. I am curious to see how we would have done from 09 and on, because the 09s are tougher, but I get a good mix of circulated coins in my area, so probably would have done similarly as well from 09 through 22. If you enjoyed this first episode of the Quarter Hunt and Fill series, I'd appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, and thanks for watching. Ugly silver, replacement silver, it doesn't matter. The silver jar likes it all.